Since Khadijah was in for repairs, Mr. Egan brought Nia to the railroad to help out during the holiday season. Since Nia was a strong engine, he assigned her to the heavier trains alongside Ian. One evening, her and Taylor arrived back after taking a long train. "You know, I really don't like this snow," she chuffed to Taylor. "It's so messy and cold." "I agree with you," said Taylor, "but the snow makes everything look Christmassy, and some of the passengers seem to like it." "Believe it or not, in Australia, it's summertime now," Larry interjected. "So they celebrate Christmas during the summer?" Nia asked. "Yes, they do," answered Larry. "I guess the standard Christmas carols don't make any sense to them," added Chris. The next day, Mr. Egan sent Nia to the Denville and Western Railroad to collect some coal. There she found Malcom and Lewis getting ready to push the Rotary snowplow up Donna Pass. "Hello, Nia," called Lewis. "What's on your mind?" "I'm just thinking about what Larry told me yesterday. He said in Australia they celebrate Christmas during the summertime. So they have no snow for their holiday season." "That's quite right," said Griffin. "People actually went to the beaches for Christmas, if you can believe it." "Was celebrating Christmas here a big adjustment for you?" asked Nia. "It was, but I was already familiar with your Christmas because my driver often showed me movies and pictures. Although I do miss it back home, I do like this version of Christmas a little better than mine." "I just wish it could stop snowing altogether," huffed Nia. "It'll be nice trying to start up on a train of holiday stuff where you're not slipping and sliding on the rails. If it's not snowing completely, there'll be no use for me and I'll be on the scrap heap," the Rotary snapped. Nia, sensing how awkward the situation was getting, was happy when her conductor gave her the all clear and she was able to leave. Nia didn't know she was headed for trouble. At the industrial park, the switch leading to it was frozen, and by the time the tower operator could set the signals to danger, Nia had already passed it. She swerved off the main line into the industrial plant. "Whoa, this isn't right," she shouted. Her driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. Nia hit a switch that was incorrectly lined and came off the rails along with some of her coal cars. Luckily, no one was hurt. Her conductor called for help, and soon Chris came to take the cars away. "Wow," he said, "what a mess." Nia didn't reply. Nia still didn't say anything when Taylor came to lift her back onto the rails with the wrecker. Taylor, understanding how frustrated her cousin might be, didn't force her to talk and just pulled her away to Harmon Works. Nia was checked over and found no damage was done and was sent back to the shed. But the following day, when Nia's crew tried to get her ready for work, they found that she was being very difficult. "Come on, Nia, you have work to do." "I'm not going out there till the snow melts," she snapped. "Don't be silly," said her driver. "Snow or no snow, work has to be done." "I won't go," Nia protested. "Come on, Nia, it's the holiday season," Taylor pleaded. "We all have to do our part." "I won't," Nia snapped. The crews and Taylor gave it up, and Chris had to be drafted in to take her first train to the quarry, while Taylor went off to do her own work. The original weather forecast had called for light snow, but at the last minute it changed drastically. Heavy snow was due to fall around the whole area, so Mr. Egan thought it best to cancel all trains for the afternoon. Larry and Christian were in Otisville shed when they heard a horn. A streamline train was making their way across the Otisville Bridge. When it stopped at the station, the yard manager came running up to Larry and Christian. "That streamline train only has one B unit working. Christian, we need you to help it to South Plainsville." "Do you need me to go too?" asked Larry. "Christian should be able to handle this on his own." "All right," said Christian, "I'm on my way." Christian crossed over the main line and coupled up to the diesel. "Oh, thank you so much," said the diesel. "I don't think I wouldn't be able to manage without a helper." "No problem," said Christian. The conductor gave the all clear and they departed. The journey went smoothly, but it wasn't to last. Suddenly, Christian felt the weight on his train getting heavier. "What's happening back there?" he called. "My other B unit has failed," cried the diesel. The weight of the train was now on Christian and the diesel only. They were moving so slow the passengers could have got out and walked faster. It didn't help that the snow was getting heavy. Then, from behind him, Christian heard a whirring noise. "I can't go on," said the diesel sadly. Christian couldn't pull the heavy train on his own, and they came to a stop right in the middle of the main line. Thankfully, even though all 3 diesel locomotives had failed, Christian was still able to supply steam heat for the passengers. His fireman checked the level of oil in his tender. "Since it's snowing, we have technically endless supplies of water, but I don't think Christian's fuel is going to last long. We're going to have to call someone to bring us some." Nia was resting in her shed, thankful she didn't have to go out in the blizzard, until the station master came running up. "Nia, we need you." "I'm not going out there," Nia grumbled. "Nia, this is an emergency. Christian stopped on the main line with a failed passenger train. He needs fuel to keep the passengers warm through the night. You have to collect some tankers and bring them to him." Nia thought for a moment. She couldn't let the passengers freeze to death out there in the frigid cold. She made up her mind then and there. "All right," she said, "I'm on my way." Nia collected the tank cars of Bunker C steam locomotive fuel along with a snowplow and set off. The snow was heavy, but Nia was determined. "Must help the passengers. I must help the passengers. I must," she said. Christian was beginning to lose hope until he heard a whistle. "That's another train," he said. And from out of the snow came Nia with the tankers of fuel that he needed. "Oh, thank you, Nia. Thank you so much," said Christian happily. "I don't know what I would have done without you." "You're welcome, Christian. I couldn't just let you and the passengers freeze out here." Throughout the night, oil was pumped into Christian's tender. By the following morning, the tracks were cleared. Larry had arrived up from Otisville to take the empty tankers and the snowplow away, while Nia double-headed the passenger train with Christian. The diesels were left on a siding, ready to be taken away later. As soon as both trains were ready, they departed. A few days later, Nia and Christian were mysteriously asked to go back to their sheds early. Their confusion turned into surprise, however, when they heard several familiar whistles and a horn. There, coming towards them, was Larry, Taylor, and the diesel they had rescued with 2 passenger cars. "Oh, what's all this?" chuckled Nia. "This is all for you," said Larry. "For us," said Christian. "Why?" "For rescuing me and my passengers," smiled the diesel. From out of the passenger car stepped Mr. Egan, Ray, and a few of the passengers that were on the train that night. They had brand new bells as gifts for Christian and Nia, and gave their crews gift cards and cash. "You deserve every bit of this," smiled Taylor. "Taylor's right," said Mr. Egan. "I'm very proud of you both. Also," added Mr. Egan, "I'm really proud of you, Nia. Even though you refused to work earlier in the day, You braved the snow in an emergency, and that means a lot. Thank you, sir, said Nia proudly. 3 cheers for Christian and Nia, called Larry. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! I honestly could say, with a lot of confidence, no engine in the world felt happier than Christian and Nia on that day.